Have you ever wondered who MJ would be in the One Piece world? The NBA and One Piece are very different things. However, there are some comparisons we can make between these two worlds. Who would your favorite player's One Piece comparison be, and what devil fruit would he eat? Or which One Piece character's story could parallel the NBA? I've decided to take on that task and make comparisons for our favorite players and characters. This is a very fun exercise to do, and I believe I backed up these comparisons with strong reasonings that are realistic. If you haven't checked out part 1 or part 2 yet, make sure to click on those parts first and then come back to this video. With all that being said, let's get started. Kawhi Leonard is one of the best small forwards of this generation and of all time. He is one of the best perimeter defenders in league history as well. He is most known for his pivotal role in the 2014 Spurs and 2019 Raptors championship run, having won 2 championships with 2 separate franchises, making NBA history. Having joined the Raptors after 1 year and leading them to the promised land is something that we'll never see ever again, especially since he left right after that to go to the Clippers. For the past couple years, Kawhi hasn't been the same star as he was before due to injuries and less success in the playoffs. However, it doesn't take anything away from his previous accomplishments. He is also extremely clutch and iced out the Sixers in Game 7 in one of the most iconic shots of all time. Lastly, he's a very quiet and private guy that can be really funny. With all this taken into consideration, who is his best One Piece comparison? Aokiji is one of the 3 original admirals. He is one of the best marines of his generation, and he ices out his opponents with his devil fruit and is extremely powerful. His best display of power is when, during Marineford, he iced out Whitebeard's initial wave attack. He's a good guy as well, protecting Robin Durant O'Hara and at the end of Endy's lobby. He's a quiet and quirky guy as well, like Kawhi Leonard, and he has also joined the Blackbeard Pirates, switching sides, immediately helping them to success. Similar to Kawhi, he's been gone in the story for some time, as he is not as prevalent as he was in pre-time skip. However, he is still a force to be reckoned with. And lastly, he doesn't seek attention, is reserved and keeps to himself, but is still one of the strongest in the verse. Joel Embiid is one of the most dominant forces the NBA has seen in the modern era, being one of the best centers the league has ever seen. Despite the injuries, Embiid has found a way to still be one of the league's best players year after year. He even got an MVP out of it. After breaking record after record and having some amazing performances, he still isn't held to the same standard as a top 3 player in the league. This is due to his playoff performances. Whether it's injury or poor play, he has never made it past the second round. Even when it looks like this is the year, an injury or him choking always pops up. Despite being one of the most dominant players in league history, he still isn't regarded as one of the top tier best players in the league due to the lack of his playoff success. And with all this taken into consideration, who is his best One Piece comparison? Green Bull was one of the most hyped up characters in One Piece. Having known nothing about him prior to Wano, people speculated on his power. He came up out of nowhere during the time skip, alongside Fujitora, and became an admiral. He had to be strong and dominant. He had to be one of the strongest characters the Marines has ever seen. Even in Wano, it was confirmed when he beat Queen and King at the same time. 2 commanders for Kaido's crew, an amazing feat that really put him to admiral level. Up until he got one shot by Shanks a million miles away. After this, people still hold him to admiral level, but his respect has dwindled. Wilt Chamberlain holds 72 records in NBA history, being the biggest anomaly in league history. Legendary story after legendary story makes him seem like a myth amongst NBA fans, having his 100-point game being his greatest achievement. His out-of-the-world athletic ability as well is absolutely insane, especially for the 60s. Everything about Wilt Chamberlain and his basketball career seems so unbelievable, some people dismiss it completely. His career is a gold standard for personal achievement in basketball with all his records and feats. We know a player is an all-time talent if they come close to one of his 72 records. And lastly, his out-of-the-world freakish athletic ability is something we may never see again in the NBA. With all this taken into account, who is his One Piece comparison? Kaido is the strongest beast of all time. He is arguably the strongest character we have seen in this series in the current timeline. His durability is absolutely unmatched, as during Wano he got jumped by multiple characters at once multiple times, beat Luffy 3 or 4 times, and continued to fight him for multiple hours. It was only till Luffy created a fist the size of an island that he got defeated. To the general public, he might as well be a myth and unknown. To other pirates, he seems like a myth as well. Even in the new world where the strongest pirates are, others try to avoid him at all costs. The influence he has all over the world as well is unmatched, having connections to Vegapunk, Doflamingo, and Caesar to produce his smile fruits all over the world. His power, durability, and legend status is unmatched by any other character in One Piece. Bill Russell is best known for being the head to the iconic Celtics dynasty in the 60s. His record-breaking 11 rings is unmatched even by those on the same team. To do this in a 13-year career makes this even more impressive. He was the best player on the teams that had multiple Hall of Famers on them at all times. He was the face of arguably the most dominant run in sports history and introduced something that has never been done before. His defense also revolutionized the game. Something as simple as jumping to block shots changed the game forever. His legacy and his influence on the game of basketball will forever be remembered. And lastly, the only way to stop him from winning more chips was to combine 3 legends of the 60s on the same team just to win 1 ring with the Lakers. With all this taken into consideration, who is his One Piece comparison? Rocksteady Xebec is a myth for the One Piece world. He manned the strongest crew of all time and had plans of taking over the world. He had multiple future Yonko on his crew like Kaido, Big Mom, and Whitebeard, among other legends. He had an absurd dominant run in the pirate world in recruiting and in strength. While not as much is known about his power yet, his ability to recruit some of the strongest pirates of all time is similar to how Bill Russell led some of the most stacked teams of all time. He was so dominant in the early pirate era that the only way to stop him was to call on Goldie Roger and Garp to help take him down in God Valley. Rocks was the captain for the strongest and most stacked crew of all time and had a dominant run as a pirate. His influence is also shown throughout the world, especially in Blackbeard. Hakeem Olajuwon is one of the best centers in league history. He is also one of the best players this league has ever seen. He's arguably the most skilled big man of all time, especially in the post where he would embarrass defenders time and time again. He is also one of the best defenders in NBA history as well, and his influence has shown up in the modern era with players like Embiid. He also offers training sessions to new generation players as well. He is well respected in the NBA community and is often overlooked when it comes to NBA history. He is also heavily tied to MJ, the GOAT. He was the first pick in the 1984 draft class over Jordan. He won the 2 chips in 94 and 95 when MJ was retired as well. Lastly, he is a great mentor for the next generation of NBA players and had one of the most dominant runs in NBA history as well. With all this taken into consideration, who is his One Piece comparison? Rayleigh, or the Dark King, was the first to make the Goldie Roger. He is most known for being one of the strongest pirates during the Goldie Roger era as well, being heavily respected by other pirates and the government. Now he is a mentor for pirates and helps the new generation get to the new world by coding ships. He is also most famously known for training 3 Yonko, Shanks and Buggy, when they were apprentices on Roger's crew. A lot of his hockey training can be attributed to Shanks' success, but more notably he trained Luffy and helped him master all 3 forms of hockey. Now Luffy is an absolute force in the world. Similar to how Olajuwon trained with Giannis, Rayleigh trained Luffy. With all this mentorship and power, Rayleigh has an argument for being the best hockey user of all time. Tim Duncan, or Mr. Fundamental, is arguably the most consistently great player of all time. From the beginning to the end of his career, he stayed the same and went on multiple dominant runs. He was the face of the Spurs franchise his entire career and brought them 5 titles. He brought the Spurs to dominance over 20 years and they were always consistently one of the best teams of the league. He was also himself one of the most dominant players in league history, one of the best defenders ever and a great leader on and off the court. However, after he retired, he became overlooked in NBA history, but now he is widely regarded as the best power forward to ever play and one of the best players to ever touch a basketball. Tim Duncan's legacy is not only seen in the Spurs organization, but in the entire league as well. With all this taken into consideration, who is his One Piece comparison? Sengoku was the Fleet Admiral for 20 years as well, with him being very good and consistent leader for his entire career. He led the Marines to great success as well. He was in power when Roger was caught and executed. He looked to do the same when Ace was caught, only to face Whitebeard when there wasn't a clear winner, but Whitebeard had died. Similar to the rivalry between Tim Duncan and LeBron James in the finals in 07, 12, 13, and 14. In Marineford, he also respected Shanks and stopped the war. Tim Duncan and Kobe were rivals during their entire careers and were often compared to each other. Lastly, Sengoku was very strong and influenced other Marines as well. He is quiet and the voice of reason for the Marines. Draymond Green is one of the best defenders of all time. His ability to defend multiple players and different positions makes him one of the most versatile defenders of all time as well. His playstyle and versatility in his all-around game helps him fit into any system or team that he could be a part of. He's such a great piece to have on a contender. However, Draymond is quite hot-headed and can often be overly physical when it comes to basketball, when it isn't needed, getting ejected or getting into fights that aren't necessary. Lastly, he is also known for being a super mega fan of LeBron James in a comedic way. He unironically glazes LeBron whenever he talks about LeBron, despite never playing with him and often playing against him. With all this taken into consideration, who is his One Piece comparison? Barto has one of the best defensive devil fruits of all time. With the barrier fruit, he is able to create unbreakable barriers anytime he wants, giving him the best defense in the One Piece world. That is a skill you would want on any crew no matter what. He also has the versatility as an attacker. Barto is also a brutal and cruel pirate, called one of the craziest rookie pirates of all time. His tactics and his raiding of villages and towns makes him feared across the world. Lastly, he is the biggest Luffy glazer and superfan in the entire verse, so much so that he dedicated his life to meeting him, then joined the Grand Fleet and now takes over islands under the Straw Hat flag without Luffy knowing. Patrick Beverley is one of the most scrappy and annoying players in the league today. He's a low-key bully to other players, famously shoving Lonzo Ball down in his first game. He's oftentimes rude, hot-headed, and immature. He also doesn't stop talking at all, and his ego is too big for his talent level. He thinks he's a superstar when in reality at this point in his career, he's an end-of-the-rotation guy. However, he is funny at times, and you can't deny he is a great defender. His energy and his demeanor on defense can significantly slow down his opponents. With all that being taken into consideration, who is his One Piece comparison? Foxy is annoying, a cheater in the Davy Back fights, and is overall just a nuisance in the One Piece world. He's arrogant and he talks like he's a true tough pirate in the One Piece world, but in reality he's at the bottom of the barrel in terms of strength. However, he is funny, and definitely funnier than Pat Bev. Lastly, his Devil Fruit can slow down his opponent significantly, as seen in his fight with Afro Luffy. Throughout this video, it's clear that there are some comparisons we can make between One Piece and the NBA. This was a very fun video to make, and I'm definitely going to make part 4. Make sure to watch part 1 and 2 if you guys haven't before to get some context on the other comparisons. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below and give your own comparisons. And make sure to leave a comment and subscribe.